Welcome to another installment in the United Way's Community Impact Series Advancing the Common Good. My name's Katie Gallagher and I'm the marketing specialist at the United Way of the Lewis and Clark area. With us today, we have Reverend Tyler Amundsen. And Tyler, you are with St. Paul's Methodist Church, but you have kind of a different hat on today. So
Definitely.
You're with Challenge Helena.
So I work with an organization called Challenge Helena, and we've been working with a group of faith leaders in the community and also members of the community over the last probably about a year now, on working on issues of poverty and justice and really getting them highlighted so that everybody can understand what's going on and how we can make an impact to help people in the community.
Yeah, we know, and Helena is a relatively affluent community when you look at the statistics, when you look at the stats. But we know that there's a lot of poverty in Helena and a lot of working families that are struggling in our community. And so what issues of poverty has Challenge Helena looked at in the past?
So we take on broad topics generally. So the ones we've looked at so far are homelessness. We've looked at hunger and an issue around that. We've also looked at ACEs, adverse childhood experiences, which is something our community is just starting to learn about. And then we have an upcoming event looking at housing. How do people find homes, and why is it hard for some people to find those?
And we'll definitely talk about the upcoming event later, but when you say look at, what does that mean? So how does Challenge Helena look at these issues? What do you do?
So when I say look at, this is a concept we put together because new people can't always come to an informational session, and sometimes informational sessions are great, but then people are like, what do we do next? And so the concept behind this is that we bring people to a talk with a significant speaker in the community that does, well, you've seen TED Talks, but a TED-style talk, so 20 minutes or so on an issue, and they really kind of nail down the issue. They talk about why it matters to our community, and they give us a story behind why that matters to us. We record those talks and produce them to put online so that, if that person's a part of an organization, they can keep using it, but also, let's be realistic, people are busy today, so getting on Facebook and watching a short video about something versus having to be at the event is sometimes nice. So those videos become timeless kind of markers of those issues. And then I was challenged by somebody as we were starting this process. They said, it can't just be information, it's got to be something more. So we really work hard on having a challenge, something people can do right after the event or after they've watched the video to then take the next step on impacting that issue of poverty in our community to help hopefully alleviate it at some point. So.
Yeah, the United Way is involved in Challenge Helena, and it's been great because this is work that our partner agencies across the community and the faith-based community, as well as volunteers, are working on every single day. But a lot of people don't know about these significant issues that are impacting the lives of our neighbors. So United Way has really appreciated the partnership with Challenge Helena and involvement in Challenge Helena. And one of the things we've heard from our partner agencies for decades is affordable housing in our community is really a challenge, whether it's an organization working with individuals with developmental disabilities, seniors, low-income families. It's a challenge across the board. So can you talk a little bit more about this upcoming event, about
Absolutely.
housing?
We were meeting with one of our speakers today, and one of the things he highlighted was this, it's hard for us to see the housing challenges in Helena. Everybody looks like they have a house. You don't see a lot of people on the streets. You don't see a lot of people in a homeless situation even. And so it's kind of hard to identify that there is this poverty where people can't afford homes. But we have a pretty high rental rate in Helena that's far beyond even what we heard today is Missoula and Bozeman. We're above them as well, which was surprising to me. And so we've got to look at what are the root issues behind people finding a housing that they can afford, that doesn't take out their whole paycheck so that they can help to raise their families or to do increased training if they're wanting to change their life situation. It's not really, you can't really just pick yourself up in some of these situations unless you have a place to live. And so this event's going to be really looking at what are those root causes, what's the story behind it, and what are we going to need to do as a community of Helena to actually change that, because there's some pretty large dynamics we're going to have to change to be able to address that.
And so who are the speakers? Who's going to come and provide the information at the event?
Definitely. So we have Sheila Rice. She's the director of NeighborWorks Great Falls. She's done statewide work on housing, and she's going to speak to probably the national and statewide realities behind housing. What are the problems with our systems and our government around providing structures for people to afford houses, to get mortgages, to get into the spaces. And she'll speak to some of the realities around that. And then Jacob Kuntz, the Director of Habitat for Humanity here in Helena, will be our second speaker that night. And he's going to speak much more to Helena. What's the problem that's going on in Helena? Why don't we see the poverty that he's going to talk about? And how do we make a difference with that?
And then do we have any information about the call to action afterward?
Absolutely.
I know the event is a few weeks away, but do you know what the call to action will be for the attendees and the general public?
Absolutely. So with two speakers, we decided we're going to do two calls to action.
All
One
right.
is Sheila's going to do a call to action just around the issues socially that we have to address within government and within our communities. So she'll have some sense of something you can sign on to make that difference. Jacob's going to have something way more practical, working with Habitat. They're starting a build here in April, so they'll have an ability for folks to actually go pound some nails in and actually do that work of building a house.
Awesome, and that's such a rewarding volunteer opportunity. I know, I'm sure you've done housing projects before too, but when you see that house completed and you know somebody's living in it, it's a really rewarding experience.
Absolutely, and Jacob's thrilled to see us get building more homes in our community that are affordable for people, so it'll be fun to see him get that out there for us. So.
Definitely. And so Challenge Helena, it's all volunteer driven, essentially. What's some of the benefits of getting involved as a volunteer? And if people are interested in volunteering and helping decide what that next issue is that you take on and draw awareness to, how do you get involved?
If you want to get in touch with us, go to challengehelena.org, and there's a contact form on there they can fill out to let us know that they're interested in being involved. And one of the great advantages of something like this is you might want to get involved on a specific project with us and help us organize that one event, or you might want to be a long-term person who's helping build this awareness in Helena. So you can make your call on how involved you want to be, and we can figure out how to plug you into that network and figure out how that works. And if you're just concerned and you want to have some fun figuring out what the concerns in the community are, it'd be a great opportunity to step up. So no experience necessarily needed. We'll use the expertise you have when you come to us. So.
All right, and then you mentioned hunger, homelessness, adverse childhood experiences. Maybe those are areas of interest. They've already been addressed. Where can you go to learn more about what's already been addressed and see those videos?
Definitely. So the website, challengehelena.org, has everything on it. So we've got all the past videos, which are pretty dynamic to watch. It's fun to see how different speakers have addressed these issues. And you can learn a little bit about all of those past challenges and what impact we've made on the website. And then like our Facebook page so you can keep up with us.
You always have to put a pitch in for the Facebook. Well, that's great. And again, United Way really values a partnership with Challenge Helena. It kind of fits into our advocacy pot, volunteer, donate, and advocate, and really advocating for a better Helena for everybody. So thank you for coming, Tyler. Anything else you want to add?
Join us on March 14th for our event, 6 o'clock at the Staggering Ox.
All right, March 14th, 6 p.m. Come early to grab food and a drink, support some local business, and we'll see you there.
Sounds great.
All right.
Thanks, Kitty.